Hey guys, Coach Chapman here. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Coach Chapman. I am the head strength and conditioning coach here at Madison Southern. In our session today, we're going to be talking about how you can improve your athletic performance and your athletic development through nutrition and sleep. As you can see here on the screen, I've put some of our common favorites, or what I've learned to be some of our favorites snacks, the hot fries, Mountain Dew, our Frappuccino lattes, and our energy drinks. By no means am I saying that we have to eliminate these entirely, although I do think that it's a good idea to maybe eliminate some of these entirely. I know that that's not plausible in some cases, okay? So what we're going to talk about today is how to make some better decisions, be aware, be mindful of what we are putting into our body and what we expect that to do for our athletic development and our performance on and off the field. So what are we talking about here? The big picture and how does it all come together? When I started training athletes, I started to think of what are the things that you can manipulate to impact the athletic development or the athletic performance. And I keep coming up with 4 different things. The 4 things that I come up with are the skills that it takes to play the sport, the physical development or physical fitness, the general physical preparedness to be able to play the sport, nutrition, what you eat, how you fuel yourself to train to be able to play the sport, and then sleep. When you actually get a chance to repair and recover from all the stress that you have put in to your body to be able to play your sport or just day-to-day life. Generally speaking, people, from what I've seen, people want to first, when they want to improve their athletic performance, they choose to practice the skills more. If you're a baseball player, you go out and you start doing more tee work, or maybe you throw more. Then when people want to see more improvement in their athletic performance or their development, they tend to go to the physical training. They start to lift weights. They start to do more plyometric work. From there, generally, the next step we see is people start to take more thought into their nutrition, how they eat, what they eat. And then lastly, we tend to see people start to pay more attention to their sleep habits, their sleep health. But for me personally, I think that that's a kind of a backwards way to view it. For me, I think you should be take it as a approach from sleep first. The reason that I say that is sleep is actually when the body recovers. So all of the stress that we put on it throughout the day, no matter if it's from sport or from day-to-day life, stress is stress, and our body only recovers whenever we sleep. And generally talking with athletes, one of the first things whenever we're talking about sleep or nutrition, one of the holdups on nutrition is the athlete may not do the shopping for the house or may not have access to some of the foods, and I get that. So that's why I put such an emphasis on sleep, because there is a low barrier to entry. Okay, so let's get into a couple of the details about sleep and how it plays a role in our development and how it can impact us on a day-to-day basis. What you're going to see here on these slides that I have, these are actually from Instagram, and I left the Instagram handle up here. That way that you guys can access this information for yourself. This is the Kansas Jayhawk Fuel page on Instagram. This is for their athletes. They are giving them the same information that I'm giving you. This is why I am using their information. There's no need to reinvent the wheel, and this is the information that we all need. And you can find it for yourself, and it's good to follow these pages. We're talking about social media being a tool versus a toy. This is one time that it can be used as a tool. But let's talk about sleep. So target sleep for males and females over the age of 16. We're looking for 8 to 10 hours. Just from my health class last year, I know that a lot of you all are not even close. I can promise you, sleep is one of the biggest impacts. I was a person that didn't get much sleep, but when I started to get on a better schedule and sleep was more of a priority, my performance and health definitely showed that positively. 8 to 10 hours. My wife, the only professional athlete that I know, says 9 is the magic number. So be consistent somewhere 8 to 10. Sleep and nutrition are closely related. If you shortchange one, the other will suffer. The better your nutrition is, the better your sleep will be. You'll have better energy throughout the day to burn that energy, or better energy to perform throughout the day. That way, when it comes night, time to go to sleep, you'll feel rested and fall asleep easier. So what is good sleep and how can we get more of it? First thing is getting yourself on a schedule. So playing, and going to school, your schedule should be pretty consistent. Okay. Now, what will make it inconsistent if you're staying up on Snapchat or if you're staying up playing video games all night, and that leads into the next one. Limit blue light exposure. Blue light is put off by any of our electronic devices. And actually, if you have an iPhone, you can flip up on the screen, and the brightness, if you'll hold it down, night shift mode will turn off the blue light to your phone. But you can't turn off the blue light to your other screens. That stimulates the mind and will get you excited. So that's why limiting electronic devices before bedtime really helps you fall asleep faster. Exercise and move daily. You're going to get that through practice and training with your coaches. Incorporate high protein fats or high protein foods. They say tart, cherry juice into your daily fueling. High proteins, eat well. It's going to increase your performance. Your mood is going to be better. You know when you're tired. You can tend to be a little bit irritable. You're going to learn better. You're going to have better memory because you're going to be more focused and you're going to be more sharp versus those mornings or evenings or days that all you can think about is laying back down and going to bed because you're so tired. Poor sleep. Ways to keep yourself from having poor sleep would be limit high fat, specifically fried foods or acidic foods of the evening. The reason for that, it can really upset the digestive tract. And if your digestive tract is upset, it'll be difficult for you to sleep overnight. Alcohol, we're not going to have any problem there. Caffeine and nicotine, both of those are stimulants. If you are consuming caffeine or nicotine later in the evening, that's going to impact your sleep quality. And if you're having poor sleep, it's going to be poor performance. You're going to be irritable. You're not going to be as clear and sharp cognitively. So stay away from the fatty foods and acidic foods, caffeine and nicotine of a night and the evening. Being aware, that's one of the biggest things for all of us when we're talking about nutrition. Emotional eating versus physical hunger. Are you actually hungry, or is there some type of emotion, whether that be boredom, sad, anxious? Any host of emotions can cause us to eat. Okay, so we need to be able to decipher the difference between emotional and physical. So I took this from Baylor. This is BU Bear Fuel, and I thought this was a great screen. Their weekly tip for their athletes: mindful eating. I think that's a great phrase. The first thing that they have up here is plan out your meal in advance. I cannot stress that enough. From my own personal life, working with athletes, that is one of the biggest, most important things that you can do. Have a plan. If you don't have a plan as far as meal prepping or at least knowing what your meals are going to be, what that ends up putting us in a situation is to take the first quick, easiest thing available. And we know that sometimes quick and easy isn't always the best option. The new one, I have actually been implementing this myself, and it's actually been really good, is eat without distractions. Put the cell phones down, turn off the TV, just sit down and enjoy your meal. It's nice to actually have that time to yourself as well, but put it down. Another thing, don't rush through your meal. Enjoy it. Sit down at a table and eat. Don't be at the couch watching TV with your head in your cell phone. The big one that I've been doing for myself lately is eat your favorite food last. That way that you will eat the things that you need to fuel your body and get yourself prepared. And if you've got your favorite food last, if you're really full, you probably won't eat that. Whereas if you eat your favorite food first, it's probably not the thing that's going to pay off the best for as far as performance is concerned. So eat the things necessary that are on your plate, and then eat your favorite food last. So what are we actually eating? I'm not going to go into too much detail. All of you all should have had some health classes. I will spend some time with you to talk about this specifically. But we need to have, as far as our carbs are concerned, they're going to come from grains. That could be pasta, rice, potatoes, breads, cereals, but we need to have vegetables on the plate as well, and some type of protein source, whether it be poultry, that could be chicken, turkey, any type of beef, venison, deer, fish, eggs, dairy, tofu. Just making sure that you have all of those on your plate for your major lunch, breakfast, and dinner. Okay. More information from Kansas. We're talking about, we always get the questions on pre-workout. We tend to want to lean towards carbohydrates with some type of protein. If we're talking about 1 to 2 hours before the workout, we could get our protein from yogurt and our carbs from fruit over here. You could have a sandwich, a small sandwich, some deli meat and crackers, or a smoothie. That would be 1 to 2 hours before. If you're talking about inside 30 minutes, those would be a little bit heavy on the stomach and probably hard to digest. So inside 30 minutes, you'd want to keep it to just carbs. So something just like fruit, a granola bar. These are some gummies like the Gatorade gummies, or dried fruit. My wife really likes dried fruit before some of her competitions. Generally 30 to 60 carbs. Somewhere between there is what we would recommend. Post-workout, this is where we start the healing process, and that's where actually the gains come from, is the recovery portion. So we're going to need some type of protein source, and we want to have it within 30 to 45 minutes of completion of the workout or practice. You could go with just a ready-to-drink protein shake and some fruit. A couple of hard-boiled eggs, fruit, some peanut butter, a smoothie and some hard-boiled eggs, yogurt, fruit, and nuts. This would be something good to have on your ride home before dinner. That way that you can go ahead and start the fueling process and the recovering process, and it's a good way to get in some quality calories. Some more information from Baylor, just smart snacking. If you're going more than 4 hours between meals, try and have some type of snack that is protein or dairy with a grain, fruit, or vegetable. And some examples you guys can go through here. Talking about hydration, with us being in camp, this should have been something that we talked about before, but this is where we're at. And the tip that Baylor gives their athletes is take your body weight, divide it by 2, and that is the amount of fluid ounces you should consume. Here's a little chart. If your urine is on the left side, you're in pretty good shape. If it starts to turn yellowy or hopefully not a brown color, that's when you need to be a little more concerned about being dehydrated and keeping one of your coaches in the loop. Okay. Baylor has the 4 R's: refuel, that's their carbs, making sure that they have plenty of fuel for practice and for the day. R for repair, that's your protein to help repair your muscles. Rehydrate, making sure that we're consuming plenty of water and our sports drinks. And relax. So the 4 R's: refuel, repair, rehydrate, relax. So shutting down at the end of the evening, getting good sleep, and getting ready for the next day. Uh, any of you guys that would like to have more information about this, I know it's very broad, very brief. Just reach out to me, and it's something that I enjoy helping you guys with. But I don't know you need help if you don't ask. Thank you.